Hey there, Joel here, and welcome to this online class. Today we are going to start with a science topic of class 9th, and that is, wait a second. I'm sure you guessed which chapter I'm talking about. Tissues. All right. Now, here you can see that there are roots, stem, and leaf. Together, probably will make the entire plant or a tree. Right now, each of these parts of a plant look different. That's because they have a different kind of a structure. They have different kind of cells or tissues that make up this entire plant. Okay, so roots are made up of different tissues, stems are made of different tissues, and leaf is made up of a different tissue. So what is it? I'm not going to tell you. This Gyani Pandit is going to explain it to you. So what is a tissue? Let me give you the exact definition. Any of the distinct types of material of which animals or plants are made. So here we are taking an example of plant, okay, consisting of specialized cells. So different cells, we have already studied that cell is a fundamental unit of life, and we saw what is a cell, right? So many cells together will make up a tissue, just like many tiny particles will make up this tissue. So that's the meaning of a tissue. Next, now I'll just give you the entire overview of what exactly you're going to study, because if you just open your textbook and start reading this chapter, you will not know where are we talking about and what is it that we're dealing with. So this slide over here gives you the entire overview of what exactly we study. So plant tissue basically is classified into two types. One is the meristematic tissue and the other one is permanent tissue. Now, I know that these words will be too complex and new for you. Take some time, understand, watch the video again if you have to, and get this thing in your mind. Second, I have written a number of sentences and not phrases because if you want to take up notes, then it will become easier for you to do that, because I get a number of messages from students saying that, so please provide answers also for it. And I believe not giving answers as such, because science is not about question answers, it's about understanding and learning. But so that for those students who find it very difficult, I just thought of putting it up in the form of sentences so that it becomes easier for you to remember and make your own notes. Now, again, plant tissues classified into two types: meristematic tissue, permanent tissue. Under the category of meristematic tissue, there are various kinds of them, and they are lateral meristematic tissue, apical meristematic tissue, and intercalary meristematic tissue. Okay, so these three. Under the permanent tissue, we have simple permanent and we have complex permanent. The simple permanent tissue again is classified into parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and epidermis. The complex permanent tissue is classified as xylem and phloem. I'm sure you have studied about xylem and phloem maybe in the 7th standard. So you're just going to learn a little bit more, but you never heard about the other tissues. So the entire plant tissues can of different part of the plant can be summed up or written in this entire slide, just as meristematic tissue, permanent tissue, and under the subcategories of all these. So in today's class we'll just try to discuss and learn only about meristematic tissue and nothing more than that. So this video is going to deal only with the meristematic tissue of the entire subcategory of plant tissue. I hope this is very clear, and from here let us go ahead understanding what do we mean by lateral, what do we mean by apical and intercalary. Again, he's going to tell, I'm not telling. Okay, so what is meristematic tissue? Now, the growth of plant, okay, occurs in certain specific regions because of the dividing tissue called the meristematic tissue. So, first point that you can remember is a meristematic tissue is nothing but a dividing tissue. Why? Because if you notice a plant, if you have grown a plant, okay, you must have realized that plant doesn't go just like that. It grows in specific regions. Okay, maybe the tip of the plant is growing, and it's not like the leaf entirely will go in one direction. It grows throughout. So there are specific regions where the plant grows. Okay, so that's the reason we call this meristematic tissue as a dividing tissue. Second, depending on the regions, okay, where they are present, meristematic tissues are classified as apical, lateral, and intercalary. So now we have come to an understanding that from that plant tissue, we came to a point where we discussed about meristematic tissue. Under that, we saw different headings. Now, of those three headings, how do we define which part is what? Is based on where exactly they are found. So where the place that it is found, we classify them as apical, lateral, and intercalary. So let us see which are those places. So first one, okay, now lateral meristematic tissue. The girth of the stem or roots increase due to the lateral meristem. So which part now? It is found in the stem and in the roots. What do we mean by girth? The mota is attivation. So it grows bigger, right? So that happens because of lateral meristematic tissue. Okay, so the stem becomes more stronger and stronger, bigger, and it is also found in the roots of the plant. So as the plant grows bigger, you need stronger roots to hold them, right? So this meristematic tissue, that is the lateral meristematic tissue, helps in the girth of the stem and the roots. It is also called as cambium. So remember, another word that you can remember for lateral meristematic tissue is cambium. Okay, can be asked as name the following. So I hope this part is clear till now. First we looked at the plant tissue. There are two types. Under meristematic tissue, we have sub three categories, and these are the three categories that you can see on the screen right now. And the first one we are discussing, that is lateral meristematic tissue. And under lateral meristematic tissue, we know where it is found. It is found in the stem, which helps in the growth of the girth of the stem, and the roots, also called as cambium. Second is the apical meristematic tissue, where it is present at the growing tips of the stem and the roots, and increases the length of the stem and the length of the roots. So if you plant one seed today, you will see maybe another 7-8 days the seed has germinated and a small plant is grown. After another month, the plant becomes bigger, right? Now it is becoming bigger only because of apical meristematic tissue, which is found only at the tip. So it just divides those parts, okay, divides the tip and grows more and more, making the plant bigger. So it is present in the tips of the stem and the roots. So as the plant is growing in height, the roots go deeper down in the ground. So both the side there is a growth, right? So the height grows. So apical meristematic tissue helps in the height, we can say. So it is found in the growing tips of the stem and of the roots. Next one is intercalary meristematic tissue. Now, where it is found? At the base of the leaves or internodes of the twigs. So, what do we mean by internodes? The place where two twigs will come out, like that's the internode. So, there, okay. Cells of these tissues are very active. They have dense cytoplasm, thin cellular walls, and prominent nuclei. Why it is required like this? Because you know there's so much of wind blowing, and sometimes the plant moves this side to that side, right? Now, if there is no intercalary meristematic tissue, then there are chances that the twigs will easily break, the branches will break. So that it doesn't happen, you have the cells are very active and they have dense cytoplasm, they have thin cellulose walls, okay, because of all the characteristic that they have to survive, right? The plant has to live. So because of which all these properties come into play. So where it is found? It is found at the base of the leaves or internodes of the twigs. Twigs is nothing but those tiny branches that come in. So remember this much. We discussed three tissues till now, that is lateral meristematic tissue, apical meristematic tissue, and intercalary. They are all subcategories or sub meristematic tissues of the main heading meristematic tissue. We have another separate entirely category of tissues, and that is the permanent tissue. So we are not talking about that, we are just talking about the meristematic tissue. Let's practice. If you have understood till now whatever we have I have explained to you, and you were fully concentrating, then all these questions you should be able to answer. Okay, name the two main classification of plant tissue. If no, then there. Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. I'm giving you the answers as well. If you know, then you can just play it with me. Just pause the video, comment in the comment section what's the answer. But don't look and write down, okay? So that will help you to understand whether you know the answers or don't know. Next one, give three sub branching of meristematic tissue. The three what we have studied just a while back. So these are the three subcategories, okay? Another word for dash tissue is cambium. Okay, I hope you know. I have also stressed on telling you that it may come for name the following. Here it is an example where it is asked as a fill in the blank. Okay, then next one is name the tissue that supports the length of the stem and the roots. So something that helps in helping the plant to grow in length. Which one it is? Okay, next a few more questions and we'll conclude this video. Where is intercalary meristematic tissue located? And it is located at the base of the leaves or internodes on the twigs. Then give one function of lateral meristematic tissue. Why is it required? Why do we require lateral meristematic tissue? The purpose is to increase the girth of the stem and the roots. Okay. Then next, cells of dash tissues are very active. They have dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose walls, and prominent nuclei. Sure, you know the answer, right? If you know it, then please write down in the comment section. And that's the answer. intercalary meristematic tissue. So, with this, I will conclude today's video on just meristematic tissue. Okay, I hope you have understood whatever I explained till now. If you did, then please don't forget to hit that like button. Share this video with your friends so that they also can learn tissues chapter, which seems to be complicated for a number of students. So make it easy for them as well. And if this is the first time that you're here on this channel, then do consider subscribing. It is free, so just do that. Okay. Till then, take care. Bye bye, and God bless you.